Hey everybody, it's Safi and Marco. Dish out on the movies. But today we are reviewing Masterchef 16, Episode 2. And because we are doing regions of the world, this week we are on Asia Pacific, which includes the country of Australia.
See, when Safi says MasterChef 16, it's like, okay, what's going on here? Like, is MasterChef having a Sweet 16? Is this the Sweet 16 of the show? And so also I would like to say, because I know that this won't be a very long review, my thoughts in general on the Asia Pacific episode was that I think this was a considerably weaker episode than the first one. I was watching it while I was playing a game, but I wasn't really doing much in the game. I was just playing poker, but the episode just was not very interesting. And some of the candidates I really didn't like because they just felt very weak and they felt very much like reality show contestant, chefs. I don't know how fast we'll get to whomever, but like there was one in particular, and I really didn't like her because it almost seemed like she shouldn't be on MasterChef, because MasterChef should be about regular people, and you have someone there, and she has millions of followers on her social media accounts, and it's like, why do you need MasterChef?
She said she wanted to set up a food truck with her father.
She's got millions of followers. I mean, you know what that translates to, Safi?
No.
A lot.
In terms of, and I don't know what she has millions of followers on.
TikTok, Instagram.
I don't use either one of those.
Maybe YouTube. Regardless, like...
I'll have to see if she's on YouTube, because that's the only one out of those three that I watch.
To me, she just doesn't feel like a normal person.
Well, she's very camera ready.
Yeah.
In fact, when we'll just go ahead and say it. We'll come up to it later, but when she gets her apron, because she did a good job. I mean, she's used to being on camera. She's used to photographing everything, so she's used to, I mean, there were a few people, I think there was at least one in the last episode, and there might have been one in this episode that did not really, their presentation wasn't that great. And, but her presentation was perfect.
Yeah, it looked like a TikTok dish. And I'm not saying that she's a bad cook. I mean, I definitely, from what I saw, I would eat her food. Although I will say, what country was she from again? Singapore?
I think she's from Malaysia.
Malaysia? Okay. I was going to talk about Vietnam because...
No, that was a guy.
Yeah, I know it was the spring roll guy, but
yeah.
I would like to say, I guess, talk about that really quickly about Vietnam, because when we were in Illinois a couple of years ago, I looked up, because I could get DoorDash, and I looked up what are some of the best restaurants in this area, and they suggested this Vietnamese place, and I was so excited to have like authentic food from like a different culture, and I ordered like a sampler thing, and I got like pork belly, and I got some sort of leaves, and I got some other stuff, and there was something in there that tasted odd. But the coffee was really good. They gave me the special Vietnamese coffee drink, but something in there was odd, and I got horrible food poisoning. I was sick for the rest of the day.
You shouldn't punish all Vietnamese cooking because of that one experience.
Well, no, I'm saying, like, that's something that I think about a lot.
Okay. No, it was miserable for you.
No,
I know.
I think about in terms of, like, I look at these chefs and I go, I remember that experience, and I go, what is stopping them from doing that? Like, what is stopping, like, because a lot of these chefs are limited, and that's what we're going to talk about too.
Well, that's what I wondered too when I was watching it.
A lot of them, it feels like they're, it's like, oh, they can make a spring roll, but like, can they make a beef Wellington?
Well, I think they are wondering that.
Yeah.
But the thing, what is the point of them doing these regions of the world? That's the thing. Unless they're asked to do a different region's cooking. So in other words, let's say they're from this region and they're asked to do European cooking or what else, African cooking or something. This is what's going to happen.
I don't know. Because that would be interesting, actually. But
it seems like they should do that as what would you call it? One of their activities or their skills, whatever, and see who makes it out.
As I was saying about the Vietnamese food that I had in that one from that one restaurant, it was just very disappointing because it was so highly rated, and I thought, how did they screw this up? Like, this is their signature dish. They were just about to close. And so, I don't know. When I look at some of these candidates and their dishes, I go like, I'd be a little hesitant.
Well, we'll see. Because I was wondering that myself. And I'll say so when we get to certain people. And I think they wondered too, but they just didn't say it out loud. Or they kind of hinted around, but didn't directly say it.
So I guess we should start off at the beginning. And Safi, and this is another thing. I cannot really remember these contestants like off of memory. Like, I was really relying on Safi here.
I've got it written down.
For her,
well,
her analysis.
The first person was Australia.
Yeah.
As we just said.
Didn't like him.
I said Australia was included. And it seems like some of the contestants, they may have lived in the area, the country, whatever, or they may have just, their parents are of that ethnicity and they were born here. So really they grew up with the food from their parents, but they weren't from there. They learned this here at home, along with peanut butter and jelly sandwiches and hamburgers and all the stuff that we have in the United States. So
wouldn't it have been hilarious if someone served them a PB&J, like a deconstructed PB&J?
I don't know. We had some guests the other few weeks ago, who we had met one of them when he was like 3 years old in Tanzania. And he works for the World Bank, and they came over here, and they've been here a couple of years, but when they're at home, they speak Swahili, and they eat their native ethnic dishes, that's the thing, they don't even eat American food.
What does that have to do with deconstructed? Well,
maybe some of these people are, I don't know, but maybe these people are kind of like
that. Hell?
So anyway, the first guy, he's from Kearney, Missouri. And I don't know if he's ever even lived in Australia. I don't remember him saying it, but maybe he did. But his name was Lawrence, and I was a little offended. I'm not a vegetarian at all, but he made kangaroo. And let's see, do I have anything else about it?
I can't remember what else he served.
With mango sauce, I guess.
Yeah, it was like a barbecue dish of some kind, and I just thought I didn't like that guy at all as a contestant. I didn't like the dish. All of it just felt like, wow, like, this is who you chose to represent Australia. And like, they really did a disservice to Australia here. I mean, I don't know. I'd have to look it up. I could do a Google search and see what AI says, but like, I don't know if Australian people regularly eat kangaroo.
No, that's I've never heard of that before.
Yeah.
And I didn't like that.
I'll look it up.
I really was offended by it. And the thing is, there were, they're doing the same thing this week. Each week when they do the region of the world, like last week, they give away 5 aprons.
Okay, here we go.
Okay.
Yes, kangaroo is eaten in Australia, but it is not a staple in most diets.
Oh, okay. So
It is widely available in supermarkets as fillets, sausages, and mince, but it is consumed by a minority, with many viewing it as a novelty or game meat.
Ew. I just couldn't do it.
It is considered healthier than beef, and it says that only about 14.5% of Australians consume it regularly, which regularly, this is really funny. That means to AI at least 4 times a year. So that regularly means you eat it 4 times a year. That's like saying, hey, I eat Red Lobster regularly because I have it 4 times a year. So it doesn't seem like it was the right thing to choose. Although I would love to try it. I would eat it because
not me.
It's healthier than beef. I love meat. I love lamb.
No,
I love all types of meat.
Well, I won't touch any of those baby animal, and I wouldn't touch. I mean, I like kangaroos, although they can be mean. But still, it's just weird to me that.
And if the kangaroo is mean, I'm gonna punch it and eat it.
So, but anyway, it seems as if, I think in this episode especially, several people cooked meat, and it was either overcooked or undercooked.
And it looked dry.
And you could see it.
You could see it.
You didn't even have to eat it yourself. You could eat it through the TV. It was dry and it was overcooked.
And what's really bad is that I've seen meat in cartoons that looks tastier. Like in The Simpsons, when they show they're having a slice of meat with mashed potatoes and peas, like that meat will look so tasty. But I looked at some of the meat in this episode and it looks so dry. And it looks so unappetizing.
And I don't know, I mean, can you imagine? You have to taste it, you're one of the judges, and it just looks awful, and you're like, I don't know if I can do this.
If I was a judge, I wouldn't even care, but it's just speaking for me as a person.
Okay, well, he didn't get an apron,
Thank
nonetheless,
God.
Because, Gordon said it for another person, if you screw up the meat, then you're not going to make it. And remember, for this season, all 3 judges have to give a yes.
And the standards are higher, too.
Oh, yeah, they said that, too. And Joe said that. Anyway, the thing is, so if the first person, so this time it was Gordon, if he says it's a no, then they're through. But the thing I like about it is that they've made the contestants well aware of this.
Yeah.
So they're not going to argue or be upset because, well, they might be kind of upset. But they're going to accept it more because one person says no, it's over. The other 2 people don't even have to say anything.
I think that works out better, actually.
I do too.
But I do think that they should all still have one save. I think that would be cool.
Well, they haven't mentioned anything about that.
To give each one of them one apron to if you got no, then I could still save you. But they all just would have one. I think that would be good. So who's next, Safi?
Next person is a lady. Her name is Aishu, and she's from India. She lives in north of Boston, Massachusetts.
I didn't like her either. So
she made a dessert, and they're not big on desserts.
Yeah.
And she made a cardamom, which is good, orange olive oil cake. And right away, Gordon says he didn't think that she had greased, the bottom of the pan well enough because it did stick. And when she tipped it over, it took her several taps to get it out, and
she didn't get it all the way out.
No, she had to pick it out.
And now here's the thing. I think if this girl it's not personal against her, but I think if she was on the British Bake Off, the British Queer Off, with Paul Hollywood and all that bullshit, I think that there's no way she'd even get on the show. Because, I mean, if you're judging it as a dessert, one of the core parts would be smooth presentation and perfect presentation. And to me, that is enough for me to have said no to her.
And Tiffany actually thought it needed more salt.
Yeah, it did look tasty, though. I mean, I would have loved to have tried it.
I think she had some kind of sauce, didn't she, in a little circular container?
And the sauce looked really good on it, but I just think that in general, like, they even had this thing where they asked her, like, oh, you're good at making desserts, but how are you with meat? And she was like, I'm even better. And they're like, oh.
That's kind of bizarre because they're not allowed to eat meat. But anyway, so she made it. And I think, now this is one of the things that Mark was talking about. I thought she was a weak contestant.
Yeah.
I think this might be a weak contestant.
But
and
we'll
her
see.
Mom was with her and everything, so we'll see.
We'll have to see because she's not a bad person.
No, not at all. She was very gracious and nice.
The cake sticking to the pan, I would have immediately said no.
Well,
I would have tasted it.
The thing is, they're not dessert people. That's the judges, and I think that has something to do with it. So we'll see. Okay, well, next two are Vietnam, and that is, the guy's name is Phu. And food, his name is Phu, but he said food means luck in Vietnam. And he made an egg roll. And they were not really impressed to begin with, the judges. But it was a special, it had shrimp, crab, and pork in the egg roll. And it was something special that his father had taught him.
I thought it was his mother.
Okay. I
because
don't,
he said his mom couldn't be there because she had dementia.
That's right.
And so
that's right.
So see, my memory is superior in this situation.
Well, good. And then Joe said, well, it's nothing like I've had before. It's really good, and they really loved it. There wasn't much to it. It was just this egg roll and maybe some rice or something.
They treated that spring roll like it was the next coming of Christ. And I gotta say, like, if he's one of the first contestants to go, then that's gonna look really, really bad. Because we're gonna look back and we're gonna say, that guy got into Masterchef because he made spring rolls.
Okay, he's from Irvine, California. But I did put, we'll see, this might be another weak contestant.
But he still seems nice.
He was very nice and gracious.
I'm sorry, but that nice, you could be nice, and then you can't be able to cook. So,
right. Okay, the next person is Shampra from Bangladesh.
I don't like her either.
She lives in Brooklyn, New York. She made halibut, which I really don't care for. And it's with basmati rice and dal. I'm not sure what dal is, D-A-L. But it's very common because the judges knew what dal was.
It's heroin.
So, anyway, they seemed to like her food. And she got an apron. So both of these contestants got aprons.
Yeah, and both of them aren't going to win the show. So...
Yeah,
just saying.
I didn't put she was a weak contestant.
Well, she was.
So then, right now, I put at this point in the show, they have 2 more aprons to go.
Yeah, only 2, and it's like wah 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 to me.
Okay, now we have the next person, and it was Iman from Afghanistan. And I felt sorry for her. I don't know why she did what she did, but she made this lamb. It was honey glazed, she had her husband with her and maybe I don't know, a child or somebody else.
Her daughter?
And
Was she the one who's a fan of the show?
I don't know. But she cooked the lamb in 3 different ways or something.
Okay.
And she cooked it in a pressure cooker.
Yeah, that was her.
And in the pan.
It was so overdone.
And the oven. So that's why would you do that?
It was so dried out.
It looked terrible.
And it's sad because honey glazed lamb sounds really, really good. I haven't had lamb in a long time. And I would love to eat that dish, but you could tell it was going to lose.
On camera.
Because it was so dry.
It looked like shoe leather.
Yeah, and she did mention, though, that her and her daughter watched the show, and she said something else that I thought was kind of a red flag. She said that her daughter's favorite person on the show was Tiffany. And to me, that's a red flag because Tiffany has only been on the show for 1 season. So that means that, like, you guys are a fan of the show, and you could be a fan of the show who just discovered it or whatever, but, like, to say that, like, your favorite judge is, like, someone who's only been on 1 season and she was complete trash in that 1 season, I think that's a bit of a red flag. I can almost see, and I could be wrong, but it feels like they like the show and her family likes her cooking, and they were like, okay, well, I could come on and be on Masterchef, and I feel like unfortunately she didn't make it because she couldn't do the meat right, but then she also said she liked Joe, the contestant. She said, Joe, you're really good because you don't spare any details. You know, you're a truth teller. And then Joe ate her food, and the first thing he said was,
no.
This is going to be a no for me because your meat is so overcooked and it's just terrible. And you could just see the regret on her face. She was like, I just told that guy that I loved his honesty, and then he just tore her dish apart.
All right, so
he sent her packing.
The next one is Tony from South Korea. He made
I can't even remember him.
Okay, he made a miso marinated ribeye with kimchi fried rice.
It sounds interesting.
But it was overcooked too.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Okay, now I remember. That looked overcooked as well. He was only on screen for like 2 seconds, and it was another instance where it just looked like, oh my god. Like, I think he even said, like, I wanted it to be medium rare, and then they cut into it and they're like, uh-oh, this is medium well to medium, or even worse. And it looked bad.
Well, the thing is, it did not have a sear.
Oh yeah, that's right.
And they didn't like that.
That was bad too.
So, no.
And that would definitely be like a big red flag. Like if you cooked any kind of meat like that, you can't even sear it, but you wanted to sear it. Yeah, a steak. Okay, Safi, what's going on with your tuberculosis? You need to go
do that. It was a ribeye, so
you need to go have a juice box. Take a nap.
Okay, so well, it lacked a serum. I mean, multiple judges said that, so they were very unhappy about that. Okay, well, the next one. Now, this is the girl Marco was talking about. She has a social media presence with tons of followers.
Millions of followers.
Millions. She's from Malaysia.
Yeah.
And she lives in Queens, New York. And
you can bet that like at least 30% of her followers want to sleep with her, but that still doesn't take away the fact she has millions of followers. And I really think that she didn't need to be on the show.
She brought her buddies with her, and it was almost like I was looking at, although this was Malaysia, it was Huntrix, the demon pop people, women.
Why? Because they're Asian?
They're all three, and they're both all skinny, and they're beautiful.
Because they're Asian?
And they're, anyway.
What does that have to do with an obscure anime?
Well, anyway, just maybe. Anyway, her goal, though, is for winning, she wants to be in a food truck with her father. That's what she said. And she made Wagyu, or I don't know how you say this, Wagyu beef skewers. But her plate was perfect.
Yeah, it was very well presented.
And
the thing that I really didn't like, though, is after she got an apron, she made like a TikTok, and she posted like a TikTok dancing around, and it's like, yeah, I'm on TikTok where they're spying, you know, the Israelis are spying on everyone. Yay! You can't talk about Palestine. Yay! TikTok is so great after the Israelis took over it, ruined everything.
Well, I have never done TikTok, so whatever. But, okay, so she got an apron, of course. She's very camera ready. Her food is camera ready. So we'll see, though, when she has to go out of the box.
Yeah, like make a beef Wellington or something. Make spaghetti.
That's why I'd like to know how they're going to do that. Like, are they going to do this trade your region?
That would be really cool, though. That would be really fun.
And it makes sense to me that they would do something like that. That would really fit in, because really they should know it's a challenge. They should really be up to it to be able to know how to do everything. So, I mean, that sounds ridiculous maybe, but they should be up for the challenge.
I think that in this episode, too, I felt like some of these places were really, really shortchanged. Like Australia, South Korea. You know, you see so many people, they talk about, I went out and got South Korean barbecue all the time. Like, I went to this really good South Korean barbecue place, and it just really sucks that they didn't make it, or they didn't do a good enough job representing all of their place that they're from. And then the last one.
Well, we have two people.
Pakistan.
Okay, you want to do Pakistan? Okay, Pakistan. Yeah, that's Fatima.
What a shame.
And
as Gordon would say.
What did she make? She made the thing I liked about what she made, but again, I think she screwed up with the meat. She made a lamb chop masala.
Yeah.
And it might have been maybe undercooked. And she made coconut rice. And we have that in Tanzania. I'd never had it before. They call it wali wanazi. And it's really good. But the I don't eat lamb. So, but I've had tikka masala, like with chicken.
Safi, you need to man up and eat lamb.
No, I don't want to eat lamb. Anyway, so it had. No, that was the guy. So anyway, I think the meat was a problem again. Oh yeah, it was undercooked.
Yeah.
I wrote it down.
And I just think that's such a shame because, you know, I see so many people talking about like India versus Pakistan.
Yeah.
And there's a wide consensus that Pakistan has better food. And especially like their street food. It's a lot better than India's apparently. And I think it's a shame. And also, by the way, I wanted to also mention, we went to Kroger the other day, and they had these really interesting Indian-inspired private selection frozen meals. And so I got one of them. It's butter chicken, and so I can't wait to try that.
Ew.
Safi doesn't want to eat it.
Sounds gross to me. I don't know, butter chicken?
No, it's not like butter. It's a tomato-y sauce.
Ew.
It's like tikka masala type of thing. And so I'm excited to try that. Really, really excited. Even Bernie the cat won't eat it, though. You know, Bernie...
He's not allowed to. He has diabetes. He's not allowed to have, and he never liked people food really for the most part. He didn't really care for it.
Our other cat before him, she would actually love to eat Dorito Loco Tacos from Taco Bell. That was pretty hilarious.
Oh, poor Mandy.
So what was the last? So
Last
who's the
guy
last one?
is Daniel. Now, he is Chinese, but he was born in the United States of Chinese parents.
Yeah.
He started cooking when he was 8, and he's now in his probably early 20s. And he was at college, and he noticed nobody knew how to cook. They're all getting their food out all the time. So he decided to set up a culinary cooking club or something. And it showed him setting out all these different plates of food. And he did look like he might be pretty good. In fact, you know, you have all these people, they're not just going to want to eat Chinese food. So this guy might be good. He might be able to go out of the box.
Yeah, I think out of all of them, I think he was the best one this episode. I think that, you know, I could give him a nickname, Bruce Lee. We'll call him. He will be called Bruce Lee.
He was dressed like he would go to the gym, and Gordon made tons of comments. I don't think he liked that, but he didn't say that, and he didn't frown. But he made him do.
He made Bruce Lee do push-ups.
With the where you when you lift up, you clap your hands and then put your hands down. They had a name for it. Maybe you know the name. I don't know the name for it, but he had. It's supposed to do. Was he supposed to do 20?
No, 10. and he did them, and I thought that was really queer. They also had a moment earlier in the episode with the Indian girl where, like, she got up and they were doing like an Indian dance together.
Move. It was a dance move.
And see, this was kind of like the weakness of this episode was it was so focused on like the superficial nonsense instead of the cooking. And but his food looked really good, and I can't wait to see what Bruce Lee does. And was there not any Japanese person?
No.
No Japan.
No.
Where's Japan?
I try to see what he made.
Godzilla!
He made a tofu and ricotta ravioli.
Where is Godzilla?
And he made the noodles.
And Joe, as predicted after last video, when I said Joe's very biased about Italian food,
yeah.
he was really excited about that. You know, he was like, "Ooh, another guy who could, you know, increase my chances of an Italian adjacent person winning." And he even taught him some Italian. It's like, ooh, I can, you know, it's like a supervillain, like mentoring another supervillain. But where was Japan, though?
I don't know.
Where was Godzilla? Oh, no, it's Godzilla!
Godzilla didn't show up.
Where's Godzilla?
I don't know.
Wouldn't it be funny? I think the best way to end this episode would have been, like, what's that theme song for Godzilla?
Bum, bum, bum. Bum, bum, bum,
like they could have played that, and then all of a sudden there's like a surprise Japanese contestant, and he comes out, and everyone's like, "Oh no, Godzilla!" And he's dressed up in a Godzilla costume, and then it's like, "Okay, you get an apron. We don't even need to taste your food because Godzilla is like the greatest." I mean, Safi, aren't you excited for the next one?
The next one's Africa, I think.
No. The Godzilla, you know, they had Godzilla -1.
Oh, I don't know.
And so the new one this year is going to be Godzilla -0.
They did a really good job with the last one, I thought.
Yeah, that was like a perfect movie.
They, I mean, it had more of a real emotional impact, what emotional impact would be on people who were being attacked or destroyed by this monster, which really is symbolic of the nuclear, the atomic weapons that were dropped on them. So I think that's what that's supposed to be. But
yeah,
it's still, my other son, he was a Godzilla freak. And it was very difficult because there weren't these streaming sites when he was a kid. And so we had to get these videos at the video store, or, like a Walmart or Meijer or something, and these video sections where you have all these lesser known movies, and we would pick up Godzilla movies from there. I can't remember if the library had any, but I just remember that was his favorite.
They had a couple.
He still likes all these Godzilla
and
movies.
Everyone loves Japan. Like, everyone fetishizes Japan.
I know.
I just got a toothpaste with Japanese ingredients in it. Like, everyone loves teriyaki.
I don't like teriyaki.
Oh!
I'm sorry, I just don't like the taste.
I'm sorry. Well, teriyaki is like one of the greatest things ever. So you don't know what you're talking about.
Whatever. But anyway, so that was the episode. They gave away the 5 aprons and
5 weapons.
Weapons, yeah. Well,
like it's
whatever.
Clue, like the movie Clue.
Or I'm thinking about that movie Weapons. Anyway, and like we said, a few of them, once they step out of their
comfort
zone, I'm not sure they're gonna make it. And I'm not saying that in a mean way, like I think I'm better than them, or they're crappy people. I thought they were all very friendly, affable people, really nice.
Yeah.
And I was grateful that they had set this 3-judge yes parameter.
Yeah.
So they weren't gonna argue the point. And and when the first judge said, I can't accept this. I can't let you go, or let you have an apron, or say yes, and they accepted it, and they left quietly, and they went back to their families who were waiting for them, and they all commiserated, and that was it. So
okay,
I thought that was good.
So, anyways, I give this episode a C+.
I gave it a B+. But the meat, I was shocked. I mean, especially the one woman who cooked this meat in 3 different manners. I didn't get that. I don't understand why she would do that. That was inexplicable, because I've never used a pressure cooker. This woman who came here from Tanzania, she used one all the time. I've never used one in my life. But if you do that, you don't do those other cooking methods. You just use that. Because they only get 45 minutes.
No, because
so I can understand.
She cooked it the entire time. And no, what I will say, that's a complete lie. A lot of the times you see on this show and other cooking shows, you take a piece of meat and you sear it in the pan and then you put it in the oven. You see that all the time. I mean, even on Worst Cooks in America, they taught the contestants to do that.
A sear, then cooking in an oven, and then putting it in a pressure cooker? I don't think so.
Not unless you wanted to kill it a second time, which that could be really interesting, like for a horror movie, like if there's like a zombie thing and it's like in the meat department in a grocery store and all the pieces of meat are coming to life and like they got to kill them by cooking and eating the meat to stop the zombie outbreak. They got to eat all the meat, like, immediately and kill it.
It's like overdoing it. And then you have the other woman who undercooked her meat, which was bizarre.
Yeah.
And maybe they were just nervous, but I don't know. I mean, how many people overcooked? I mean, I'd say at least half of the contestants.
3 or 4.
Had, and that would be, quite a few.
And then one undercooked it, so...
So that's quite a few. And, what are they doing? Because Chef Ramsay, on one of the contestants, he said, that's just, if you can't cook the protein, if it doesn't come out right, then you're not going to get an apron. So, I mean, he made it perfectly clear what they were going to do. And so, anyway, that was it. And we'll see, these camera-ready We have the social media influencer who cooks on TikTok, I guess, and other places. I'll have to look her up on YouTube and see if she's there. And then you have the boy, Daniel, who...
Bruce Lee?
Yeah, who... He has a culinary cooking club at his college.
All right, I think that's it. So please like this video and comment and subscribe. You know, please just support us while Safi's battling her tuberculosis. And then also...
I don't have tuberculosis.
If you like...
I have allergies, though, that's for sure.
Yeah, they come on whenever you're doing a review. And then...
Well, believe it or not, I drank an entire bottle of water during the review.
And that's what I watched it happen the whole time. It's like she just couldn't stop.
Guzzling down water.
She's a waterholic. You know, she has no business being the head of the FBI. And so then also, if you want to support this channel even further, you can check out our Patreon page or not. But if you do, you're going to come across a lot of cool stuff that you won't find on this channel. And you will find a ton of exclusive content, a ton of bonus reviews. In fact, pretty soon, after I'm done with The Mentalist, which that show has really gone downhill, unfortunately. It's kind of like a dread to even watch it now. But, and it's not because they went on too long. It's because they started making a shitty show. So, you know, that's just, it is what it is. Like, I could tear it apart. If I was really anal, I could tear it apart. But after I'm done with that, I'm going to be moving on to Dexter. I'm going to be doing episode reviews or just season reviews on Patreon, exclusively on Patreon, to get ready for the new Dexter Resurrection season. And then maybe at the end I'll do like a ranking of the seasons, and that'll be like on YouTube for free or something. But like, yeah, if you want to see more exclusive and cool stuff, check out our Patreon. So,
that's it. Goodbye, everybody.
Bye.